Hello everyone, welcome to Red Cape. Today we are starting with a series where I'll be giving an understanding of how industry works and how industry knowledge is required for anyone to enter into data analytics or business analytics. Today we have with us Nirantar and Mayuresh. First we will do a round of introduction, and then eventually in the series we will discuss more about industry, how businesses function, and what kind of tools and technology you need to learn, what kind of skill set you should have to survive in this industry and progress in the industry. I am Aditya Kulkarni. I work as an analytics manager in the industry. I have 5 years plus experience, and with this entire series, our aim is to facilitate Nirantar and Mayuresh into transforming their career into data analytics and data science or business analytics. Also, whoever wants to learn about the industry structure right now and want to gain knowledge about how industry functions should listen to this course and entire series. So I'll like to welcome Nirantar Kulkarni on the call. Let's just hear from him. Hey, hi Nirantar.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Aditya. So myself, Nirantar Kulkarni. I'm a computer engineer. I completed my graduation in 2020. Currently, I'm working as a software developer in TCS. In my current work, I develop some of the dashboards and APIs that required for those dashboards and the SQL queries that required for that. And while doing that, I came across lots of data, and those SQL queries and APIs we develop are for some business requirements that the customer wants. But I needed to understand what goes on in their minds, so that they need to develop those dashboards and what is the insight they are getting from that. So that is why I have joined this course, to understand the business side of this data analytics field. So that's my introduction.
That's very nice to hear, Nirantar. I would like to welcome Mayuresh now and share his experience with us. Hi Mayuresh.
Hello Aditya. Hello Nirantar. Myself Mayuresh Joshi. I have completed my graduation in 2017, and currently I'm working at Swastik Enterprises as a senior sales engineer and operations.
Mayuresh, can
Uh,
you hold up your mic so that we can hear you clear?
yeah. Currently I'm handling the operations and the sales process of the Swastik Enterprises since last 3 years, and in this job I have came across with the business solutions that I can provide to customers, our customer, what they need, what we can give them extra for their own benefits, and we on the basis of that data we can conclude that what people actually required, what what is going in the market right now,
Mhm.
and with the help of that data we can improve our business in various ways, like that. And in the data analytics, with that with this knowledge and the technique, with the help of that technical knowledge, we can provide the solutions to company to improve the business and the process.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
understood.
why I have joined this course.
Okay, so right now, if you look at, we have correct mix. One person is from the technical background, and another person is from business background, and they both complement each other. One person has to learn more of technical skill set and how businesses think about data. Another person knows the data where it lies, but he needs to understand what kind of usage that data will have to business into improving their efficiency or business value, right? We call it a dollar value in the industry. So the more dollar value impact you will have on the industry, the more of your impact will be. So for example, why software developers have, let's say, higher salaries or higher positions, or they become CTOs or CEOs of tech companies, is because they create more impact. And that's how industry works right now. So if you think of the data analytics industry, it's majorly divided into three parts. Major three roles are offered in the industry right now. One is a data analytics role, another is a business analytics role, and third one is a data science role. I will give you a brief about each one of them, but before doing that, I would like to have an understanding what kind of knowledge or basic concept you have about, let's say, data analytics or and business analytics. We would like to go with Mayuresh first. If you can help us understand, Mayuresh, what kind of basic understanding you have.
In my understanding, data analytics is the process where the person gives the company,
Mayuresh, I guess your mic has dropped.
the person gives their firm to improvise their business on the help with the help of the data that provides by the company. So where is the process is lacking, the improvement is lacking in the process of the business,
Mm-hmm.
and where the business is going on a wrong side. With the help of that data and analysis, we can provide the solutions, analytical solutions to the company to improve the business and the process.
Okay. So when you say analytical solution, what comes to your head? Like, is there any kind of thought that comes to your head right away, or it's fine if you don't have any thought right away?
Uh, just I came up with this that if uh, the salesperson doesn't know what their customers require,
Mm-hmm.
then he cannot give the solutions or the product or right pitching to the customer. Then the
Correct.
customer will get lost in the sales process, and the order will then not get closed, and the company will have the loss for that.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah.
So I guess, Mayurish, that is kind of an accurate representation what you mentioned. Also, your basics are pretty clear that what we achieve through a data analytics or a business analytics perspective. I would like to move to Nirantar now to understand what his understanding or basic concepts are about data and business analytics.
So I think data analytics is related to the companies that have their own data. They collect knowingly or unknowingly. They have so much more data, and also they can use external data as well, or they can use their internal data as well to analyze what where uh, their improvement is required, and if the company is a sales oriented company, so they will analyze that where the sales are there in the whole year when most of the sales are happening, and all these things can be understood by analyzing the data. So that is what is data analytics
Got it.
mostly confirms.
Got it. So I guess you both have a pretty basic understanding and how these field works. I will just bifurcate both of them for you. First is data analytics and second is business analytics, right? So when we say data analytics, it's all about having cluster structured data and creating reports and visualizations around it so that you can gain insights from it. So something like maybe sales, your operations, your operational efficiencies, all these parameters. And even marketing, you're doing, let's say, digital marketing. So if you're doing Facebook ad, LinkedIn ad, or maybe YouTube ads, how this is working for you. So all this is something basically comes under data analytics as a part. When we turn it into business analytics, is basically we receive an open-ended problem. So that's the basic difference. In data analytics, you work around the data and figure out a solution. And in business analytics, also you need data, but over here problems are more open-ended. Something like that, my sales revenues are dripping. So I don't know why they are dropping down significantly. So a business analyst or senior business analyst or business lead would figure out a solution using data that is already there in the system. Like you mentioned, Nirantar, there are a lot of data points which are being collected right now. Either they could be knowingly or unknowingly, but largely they are knowingly recorded, right? And they try to figure out what kind of solution structure that we can put up. So for example, Mayuresh took the salesperson. So in the industry, in software industry in particular, there are a lot of sales that has to happen, and those sales basically reflect because of cross sell and upsell. So let's say, for example, you have bought a Microsoft Office from Microsoft, right? And now Microsoft can cross sell you something like maybe Teams, so that you can properly function your business team. But to identify what kind of solution you need is something data will help you with. So, so the next part in the series that I want to cover today is basically about skill and knowledge. And now, since we have fair understanding, I believe, about business analytics or data analytics, I would like you to ask any question if you have any, that if you do not have any clarity about any particular thing that I've talked about right now.
Yeah, so I had one question.
Mhm.
So how much of the statistics and probability knowledge is required in business and data analytics?
Okay. So when you start your career and into the analytics industry at the first stage of your career, basic statistic knowledge is more than enough, like knowing of mean, median, mode, what they are, right? What is standard deviation, what are different types of distributions are there. Probability will help you build logics, which we will talk later in the phase. But I would say that these will play an important role post you understand the business, how they function, and how they generate insights, or rather how they solve problem using data. Once you understand that, then you can use any mathematical concept to solve it. Maybe you can use an even a line formula, which is basically used in linear regression, right? Y is equal to mx plus c. So that's a basic formula for any simple linear regression. So that's something that you can use. So as and when you progress in your career, you will use more complex solution structure to use to solve any problem. I hope I answered
Thanks.
it efficiently, that you
Yeah,
get an understanding.
yes, yes.
Paresh, do you have anything? Okay. So let's move to a next part where I want to discuss skill and knowledge. There is a lot of debate always about whether you should possess knowledge and possess skill. I personally believe knowledge will sharpen your skill. It will. It is not entirely necessary to just have knowledge, because if that's the case, everyone who is knowledgeable would be successful in their life. But then you need skills. That's what I believe. First, I would like to know what differentiate between knowledge and skill in your thought. Nirantar, you can go ahead first.
Yeah. So I think skills are something that we develop with the experience. So how much experience that we have, we gain different number of skills, and the knowledge is the required technical knowledge that we want to if we want to implement any solution. So that is, I think, the skill and knowledge difference is that the skill is that something we get with the experience, and the knowledge is something that we use that skill to implement the solutions that we want.
Understood. Okay, fair enough. Mayresh, you would like to go?
Yeah. As Aditya said, knowledge sharpen your skills. You can't cut with the blunt sword. If the sword is sharpened, then you can cut it. This knowledge, if you have more knowledge, then you can develop and improve your skills with the help of that knowledge. And with the help of that skills, you can improve your uh, knowledge also.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, you guys have a fair understanding between the differentiation. I would just put it out in a very simple word. So, skills will be perfected with practice. That's one thing. And second thing is about knowledge, that you can learn knowledge. So, knowledge is a transferable commodity. So, I can teach you something. Nirantar can teach something to Mayresh. Mayresh can teach something to Aditya. That's how knowledge work, right? Knowledge is shareable, but skills are not. Skills are very specific to Aditya, skills are very specific to Nirantar, skills are very specific to Mayuresh. They cannot be shared, they cannot be taught. what we can do is to improve our skill, we can practice. So for example, I am very bad at query writing, which is SQL query writing. What I need to do is I need to practice SQL query writing. That's how I become good at it. So the first phase of our learning will be around skills, which we will talk about in a minute. I'll just share my screen and we'll start with that. Okay. So if you think of skills and knowledge, so there are two parts into our learning, right? So first part is where we want to cover skills, that I'll come to later on. But knowledge, so knowledge over here is basically tools and technologies to solve our problems. So what kind of tools and technologies that we should learn in terms of gaining knowledge about the industry? So first one is Excel. This is the most basic tool that you will use day in and day out as a business analyst or data analyst, so that you can perform some basic analysis. Next is SQL. Like Nirantar already mentioned that he has some sort of experience in developing SQL queries and API calls. That will help him realizing this knowledge very soon. But this is something that you can gain as in when you grow into the career also. There are some things that in SQL that I even don't know as of today, right? But whatever necessary are there, I am aware of them. So the next part is visualization tool. When I say visualization tool, it can be Tableau, Power BI, or anything else like MicroStrategy, Spotfire. So there are tons of visualization tool. Even Python has something called PyDash, which is absolutely free, that you can create a visualization on. And the last one after these three is something you need is Python. Why do we need Python, right? Basically Python will help you, or it can be R also, as per your choice. But as being in the industry for 5 years, I realized that R is more towards people who are doing statistical programming and they are developing just models and everything. Those people need R. Python is more towards will give you an advantage in terms of automating stuff, in terms of solving bigger problems and data processing, right? So that's why so these are the basics knowledge set that you should possess in the industry. First three are must. Before any of the other things, we should learn these three things, which will help you solving a large set of problems. Now let's come to skills. Skills are basically something business understanding, as like I'll set it just small in abbreviation, business understanding. What I mean is behind business understanding is that how the business function, how they earn money, and how they spend money, and how they acquire customers. All these things comes under business understanding. So how Netflix is collecting customers, how Paytm is collecting customers, how Zomato is doing it, how Swiggy is doing it. So understanding that front is something will gain you a whole business understanding, and that will help you in the long run. So this is a skill that you need to practice and practice and practice, right? This is something that no one can teach you. This is something I will help you how you can master it, right? That's something I would say it takes years and years to master any skill, but I would certainly give you maybe a formula or a path where you can start doing it, because a lot of people feel lost while understanding how businesses function. And the next thing that you should possess as a skill is problem solving. When we say problem solving, it basically means the problem can be anything, right? A problem solving skill is called in India as jugaad. Everyone tries to do it in some or other way. If you do it structurally, it helps business in the long run. But now how do you solve a problem structurally? So that's when the next part comes in, and that is structural thinking. So that will help you define a problem in a structured way. Once you define it structurally, you can solve it with your business understanding. So that's how these three skills stack up each other. And the last part that you need to learn in terms of surviving in the industry for the long run is basically scalability, right? So this will help you understand how your solution is scalable. So for example, if you think structurally, you defined a problem, you solve that problem with your business understanding. But if that solution is not scalable, it is not going to make a larger dollar impact on the business. So if it does not have a larger dollar impact, that solution is worthless for the business. Because if you are, let's say, a software developer developing any kind of software, but that software is not scalable to every outlet that I own, that doesn't help me as a business owner, right? So in the same way, in analytic solutions also, like if I develop something that will help one individual in the organization, that will have a less dollar impact. But imagine you are working for an organization who has 10,000 people, and you have developed something which will help all those 10,000 people. Don't you think that will have more dollar impact compared to one person, right? So if you are even saving 1 hour of every individual of 10,000, you have saved roughly 10,000 hours on a daily basis. That is something scalability means. So your solutions always should be scalable. If you have these skills, and these skills will come with practice, it won't happen overnight. And we will just, in the first start, we will just figure out how we can learn these skills and improve those skills day by day. And we will do a lot of case studies, and we will do a lot of presentations where we will figure out a solution together, right? So this is something that we will progress with. First is skill part, and then we will move to knowledge part. I would love to take any questions that you guys have.
Yeah, nothing from my side.
Okay, Harish?
Nothing from much.
Nothing. So I guess this is the first session that we want to conclude. In the next session, we will start with the business understanding front, and I would love you guys to have a look at few things before coming to the next session, which is tomorrow. And we will start learning about how businesses functions. And I would like you to do one small exercise. Just think of any company that is around you. Maybe it's Zomato, Swiggy, Amazon, Flipkart, or any normal HDFC Bank or SBI Bank, anything, right? And just think of a few points and write them down, that how they function and what kind of functionality they need in terms of generating profit, and how their operations will work. Just think out it. There is no wrong and right answer for this. This is an ever evolving process. So just try to do this exercise on your own. We will connect tomorrow again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.